Question from Ovi. What if everything is mathematical and geometrical? What if the entryway and the exit way for our lives is math and the concept of it? What if sacred geometry is mathematical? What if there's a 3-tier layer system that combines math, geometry, and materialism? Combined, if you figured out how to use those things, you might be able to do some damage, especially as a collective. So what if everyone's activation code is different in the system of light? What if that was the only way to program you so that I would have to individually wake you up independently? Because everyone's code to unlock that pineal gland is different, just like their fingerprints are. Just like the fingerprint from our sun is different from other suns' fingerprints. We all have our individuality, and that's what the I stands for. I, get it? Your third eye is the dot. So, everyone has a different activation code to enter the gateway to the system of light. But the activation code varies, but the one thing that stays the same in everyone's common denominating system is almost 100% mind, body, and soul. You have to be 99.9% of mind, body, and soul, and the convergence of the spectrum of those things to access. And that means to be in the light, you have to be the light, and you have to not be harboring like hate is the main culprit for not being able to get through the gate. Hate, when you're programmed to do that, it's not actually you that's naturally wanting to hate, because everybody's naturally born to be innocent. It's what we're programmed with to hate. So it's no fluke if you're a hater, right? So what's basically going on is those are your locks to stay out of the light. Those are your chains that bind you to gravity. There's math involved. So when you harbor negative emotions because you can't get it together, like the mind, body, and soul, you can't get them together, or you have a lot of negative space and emptiness, there's something that you're not fulfilling that you need or you want. And yes, there's a big difference between need and want. But when you can be happy with only what you need and not what you want, that's an indication that you are almost complete in mind, body, and soul. The I is the variable, because the I is what the decision is from you to be self-aware. Self-aware of the light and self-aware of what and who you are as a person. So, this is turning into an inspirational video. However, this is someone's activation codes. Yup, everything is math. Everything is sacred geometry, and everything is education. However, don't only be educated, because you'll never feel your soul. You'll never feel your connectivity. Don't just go by someone else's experience, because their activation code might be different from yours. So, when you seek your personal activation codes, it's like seeking yourself to know what and who you are. Here's a little hint. We are 2-dimensional people, but we can choose to be 3D or more, and that is extra-dimensional. To basically explain to you this extra-dimensional system, this planet is the 3rd planet from the sun, and this is a 3-dimensional planet. There are other planets in the sun that are extra-dimensional, okay? And they have moons, which make them more extra-dimensional. So there's life everywhere, but you can't see it because you are stuck in 2D. You know why I know that? Because you have 2 legs and 2 arms that act in 2 different dimensions. Baron von Stinkystein, the dog, has 4 limbs. He's 4-dimensional, but he exists on 3-dimensional plane. So when you look at birds and you look at the bees and you look at the flowers and the trees, you realize trees and plants are infinite extra-dimensional creatures. They bind us all together. Mind, body, and soul, earth, wind, and fire. They bind earth, the sea, and the air. They bind everything together. So, when you're referring to these systems, you have to know how the systems of life work too. And this is how I'm getting through to you a different kind of extra-dimensional system. This is 100% 2-dimensional because I can turn it and not see it. It's so skinny. And my face is 2-dimensional on this screen. However, 3D is when you're in my face and I'm in yours. This is simulated 3D. It's not real. You'll need to know the difference soon because virtual reality is becoming a reality. There will be people and scientific companies that know about these rules, and they're going to lie to you, and you're going to get stuck in a matrix. A matrix is a paradox. Don't get stuck in one, because one little lie can bring you to a dimension that you can't get out of. Negative space. I am Ovi. I know who I am. I know how the system works. And I know where I'm going when this body subsides. So this is a message to you. There's no such thing as death unless you want there to be. I stay alive forever because I ate from the tree of knowledge. I took a big bite out of that fruit. It's up to you. The choice is yours, whether you want to live forever or if you choose death. That means that you will live for maybe 120 years. It's all choice, unless you've been programmed otherwise. OV out, system of light.